Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. I want to say the websites are at the bottom. There's some social media there, but the website is llewellyn.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spellcasting cards by Magical Spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. They're the full names if you're interested. On the back here are some websites for them. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you're interested, of course. Okay, what do we have for Cancer? I'm really excited about your reading all of a sudden. That's interesting. Which is not a bad thing. You're going to really be happy with this. This is interesting. Why? Okay, so... Okay. Before I get too far, I don't want to set this up in a bad way. There is a conflict coming up. I don't see you in the middle of it. In fact, the conflict that I'm seeing happen, I feel like you might be hearing about it secondhand. Or maybe it's at the very most it might be happening in your presence, but it's like you're not participating in this conflict. The thing is, something needs to come forward. Something has already happened, and you knew something was wrong. Something needed to be reformed. Something needed to be broken down and rebuilt. It's like, how do I explain this? It's like something was made incorrectly. It's been wrong for the longest time. I'm trying to figure out what it is, because I feel like the foundation, there's something up here. Something isn't right. Like something, it's not that the foundation is wrong, it's just not being addressed. It's kind of like you're moving into this house, and there's some old fixtures, and there's some old pipe work in there for the plumbing. And it's kind of like it needs to be addressed because there might be some issues there. Maybe some of these things were not completely disconnected. Maybe some of these things weren't completely turned off like they should have been. So we just got to address it. Something like that. Like something should have been addressed, hasn't been addressed. Something's been lingering there. We got two cards fell out face down. Life, purpose, and animals. Whatever the situation is, it could be somebody you look out for. It doesn't have to be literally a pet. Could be. But when I see the animals card, it's somebody you look after, kind of like somebody that you just try to keep an eye out for. Maybe they have rough circumstances, or just maybe they've had a really rough shuffle in life, if you will. They got dealt a rough hand, so you kind of keep a lookout for this person. It's something that you just try to stay in the background, but every now and then you just try to give them a heads up and try to look out for them when you can, when appropriate. I've seen people do this at work for certain people once in a while, kind of like, oh, something's coming up here. I'm going to try to give them a heads up to kind of, get them calm, get them ready, so things aren't going to be an issue when it does pop forward. I do feel like this is somebody you look out for, somebody who definitely means something to you. So, the family, friend, I keep feeling with this energy, though, it may be somebody that you just like, and you're very, you stay away, you don't get involved, but you do care about them, and you do try to help them where it's appropriate. But it may be somebody who you're not, you don't know their life in and out, they don't know your life in and out, but you keep an eye out for some reason, you just care about what happens to them. It might be just one of those people. You know that when this comes forward, and when it does come forward, this is going to be difficult for them. It feels like you know it's already happening, you've already seen the writing on the wall. The world is already coming in, but how it's going to actually play out is the question. You know the change is coming. You know the change is there. It showed up at the front door. It's getting ready to knock. But when it comes in the door, you're not exactly sure what it's going to do. You know there's going to be changes. You know there's going to be big changes. You have kind of a good idea about what's happening, but how it's going to play out. It's almost like the bank is showing up at the front door and they're like, we're going to repossess the house. How that's all going to play out, how much time we have, what we're going to get to keep, what we're going to have to leave. Not really sure about that, but I don't know. I feel like that's a weird analogy because the situation is you want this to change. It's kind of like this hasn't been right. This hasn't been right for the longest time. and you're trying to look out for somebody, and this is happening to somebody that you look out for. It's weird that I use that bank analogy, because you seem to be ready for it. It's kind of like this has been looming for too long. And now that it's coming forward, now it can be fixed, and now it can be correct, and now it doesn't have to be this problem that's looming over the situation anymore. Do you want bad things to happen to this person? No, definitely not. But at the same time, you're like, it's coming sooner or later, and maybe the way it's coming in, it's kind of like, it's not the most enjoyable, but it could have been worse. And it's kind of like the sooner we deal with it, the sooner we move on from it, the better things are going to be. How's this person add in? That's kind of an interesting. This person stands all by themselves, I'm noticing. They don't have a lot to say. This is somebody who's helping take apart what was here before. There's like this other person that's dealing with the past and what's wrong with the past. Even though it's fire, I get a very political, diplomatic feel with this person. It's just kind of like, all right, this needs to be done, and they just do it. All right, that was wrong, so we're just going to fix it, and they just fix it. This needs to be thrown out, and they just throw it out. They don't talk much, they just do. This energy coming in, there's not a lot of conversation. They just do what they feel like needs to be done. Again, this seems to be you watching this happen more than anything else. I feel like when this person comes through, though, they're also showing the benefits. If we're going to use that bank analogy, the bank is at the front door, they're taking the house. But then they're like, all right, you have 3 months. And if you do this, that, and the other thing for us, and you get your stuff taken care of, we'll make this easy on you. We've actually found another place for you to go. I know sometimes there's laws, so I don't know. But I feel like we found a place for you to go that you can afford. You can go there. We'll actually even help you do that. As long as you're cooperative, you can keep this, you can keep that. And then we will forgive the past debt because we're repossessing the house. We're going to get our money back in that sense. So we're going to, free you from this problem. It is working more. I think that's why I'm seeing the Sun card in here, because it's going more to this person's benefit than you originally thought it would. And I feel like you're very happy, but you're like, I feel like you're also realistic in the sense of like, well, let's make sure it gets in writing that way. Let's make sure it actually plays out that way. The wheel turns in their favor. And it's a really good moment. The happiness card was popping out. I feel like you're very, very happy. What is that last piece? What is that? Because I get the wheel turns in their favor. You totally weren't expecting it to do so. Alright, I'm going to do the dice on that because I'm seeing that. And there's good cards, but there's conflict there. It's conflict. And I don't want to like minimize something that might be an issue. Judgment in positive favor. And the Knight of Fire. The Knight of... Somebody is like... Somebody else is fighting the battle for them. Whoever the person is you like, somebody else is fighting the battle for them. And getting things to reconstitute, recollate. It reminds me of when somebody takes a bunch of stuff out of a drawer and they sort it all out. They get it all nice and neat. Everything that was in the drawer goes back in it, but when they put it back in and it's all in order, it doesn't take even half the room as it did. It's like, but when they opened the drawer, it was just overflowing with stuff. They take it out, they sort it all out. Everything that was in there is back in there, but it takes up less than half the space because it's not all crumpled and mishmashed. It's all where it's supposed to be and all in order and all flattened out the way it should be. And I feel like somebody is fighting for the person that you care about. There's protection here, things going well. I'm trying to understand if there's anything else with this, because I do also see judgment in the favor, in positive favor. I see the Knight of Wands again. Well, again? No, it was the King of Wands over here. That wasn't the Knight of Wands, but still. Somebody's fighting for the favor of somebody that you care about in their favor, which is interesting that this is about... Seems like it's more about somebody else than you, but it must be... If this reading is hitting, it's because it might be something that's heavily weighing on you and probably making you very stressed. Kind of like, I'm really worried about this person. I'm really worried what's going to happen with them. So hopefully this reading helps relieve that stress, because I feel like that's what the purpose of this reading is. Again, I see this as somebody that somebody you really care about, that means a lot to you, that you're probably worrying about. things are going to go their way. Things are going in their favor. There's a lot of healing for them. If you're dealing with somebody and they have a medical condition, I feel like there might be a hiccup in the situation where they end up in the hospital, but because they're in the hospital, there's somebody there who knows what other people don't, or sees something that other people don't, or has an opportunity to help this person that other people haven't. And I feel like it's kind of like, oh no, they're in the hospital, now I'm nervous. Then you're finding out, oh no, that was perfect, because now they're meeting the right people, and these people are going to move forward and get them the help they need so they can heal. And they can heal properly. It could be something like that, just to be fair. Because I'm getting some medical things. I'm a medical nothing. Like, I don't know medical anything, but I'm getting like there's an advancement or something, and the people helping the one you care about, they really want this. They want to do this for them. They want to move forward on what they've learned. It's like they've learned something new. It might be a new procedure, something like that. Not only do they want to try it with somebody, but they need it to work. They believe it's going to work. So by going through this, they're trying head over heels. Like, they're bending over backwards to make sure this works out. You got a lot of positive energy going here. I do see a lot of healing coming out. The ultimate card here is the Four of Swords. That's healing. I see when this comes in, you're very happy about it. You feel like things worked out a lot better than you expected them to. Were they smooth and easygoing the whole time? Absolutely not. But was the outcome the best outcome? Maybe a better outcome than you expected? Definitely. There's a lot of energy. It was weird how we switched into that medical analogy at the end, but roll with it. Because I feel like this is all about you having stress about somebody, worried about somebody, and things go a lot better than expected. And as time goes forward, it proves that like this moment was actually the best moment they could have had for this situation. And it relieves stress for you because it makes their situation better. It's somebody definitely you worry about for sure. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.